Good afternoon, folks. We're flying the FSLabs A320 today, and we're going to be doing an imaginary Austrian Airlines charter from here in Nuremberg down to Innsbruck, Austria, to fly another one of these challenging approaches that I've been attempting lately. So we're going to be doing the very challenging and fun visual circle to land procedure on runway 08 at Innsbruck. So let's go ahead and hop in the flight deck here and review our flight plan for this very short hop going from Nuremberg, Germany to Innsbruck, Austria. Okay, welcome aboard the flight deck. Let's go ahead and pull up that flight plan. Okay, so we're flying Austrian Flight 321 today, Airbus A320 CFM engines from Nuremberg, Germany to Innsbruck, Austria. Cruising flight level is going to be 210, total flight plan distance of 197 nautical miles, with an average tailwind component of 9 knots. Our alternate, should we need it, is going to be Salzburg, and we're going to be carrying 147 passengers today. Our trip fuel is 1,676 kilograms, trip time 37 minutes en route, and we're going to be releasing with 4,375 kilograms, which should give us an endurance of 1 hour and 55 minutes. Our route of flight today, we're going to be departing via the Akanu 6 Mike departure, then via Uniform Lima 603 to Oletu, Zulu 106 to Manal, Mike 736 to Tulsi, and then we'll be joining the Tulsi 3 Alpha arrival into Innsbruck. And that's what this looks like here on the map. As I said, again, we're up here in Nuremberg, Germany, in Bavaria, and via the Akanu 6 Mike departure, Uniform Lima 603 to Oletu, then Zulu 106 to Manal, Mike 736 to Tulsi, then again via the Tulsi 3 Alpha arrival into Innsbruck. Again, the trip distance is just under 200 nautical miles, and trip time 37 minutes. Very, very short, quick hop down to Innsbruck, and weather looks pretty nice. Clear skies over most of this part of the journey, and it should be a really nice arrival into Innsbruck later. Okay, let's go ahead and do our pre-departure flows and our departure briefing here with our co-pilot. Ground from cockpit.
Go ahead.
Oxygen test.
Roger.
Okay, that checked out okay. Are you ready for the takeoff briefing?
Ready.
Okay, this is going to be a standard left seat takeoff off of runway 10 with takeoff flaps config 1 and flex temp 65. V1 rotate and V2 all 143, and transition altitude is going to be 5,000 feet. The weather at Nuremberg, winds 127 at 10 knots, visibility greater than 10 kilometers. Temperature 2, dew point -3, and QNH is 1011. We're located at stand 11 here at Nuremberg. Let's go ahead and review the taxi route to runway 10 real quick. Okay, from stand 11, we're going to be pushing back here, and then we'll be taxiing via Mike 2, Foxtrot, and we'll hold short of 10 for departure. During the departure, for any malfunctions before V1, such as engine failure, fire, loss of control, aircraft unsafe to fly, I will call stop to reject the takeoff. We'll apply maximum braking, exit off the runway if able, and advise ATC. For any malfunctions after V1, we're going to continue the takeoff and treat it as an in-flight emergency. I will handle the controls and advise ATC, and you back me up with the ECAM memo action items. Assuming everything goes to plan, we're going to be departing via the Akanu 6 Mike departure off of runway 10. And the procedure is to track on heading 096 to DME 6.6 from the Nuremberg VOR. Then we'll be making a right turn on heading 183 to DME 19.6 from ERL. And then we'll turn right to intercept the DKB radial 074 inbound to DME 24.7 from DKB, then left to intercept the Nuremberg radial 207 to Akanu. And then from Akanu, we're going to transition into the Uniform Lima 603 airway. Transition altitude is going to be 5,000. Want to contact Munich radar immediately after takeoff. We're not flying on BATSIM or on lines, so does not apply to us. Since there are also noise abatement procedures, strict adherence within the limits of aircraft performance mandatory, and on runway 10 we can expect close-in obstacles during the takeoff. Maximum speed 250 knots below flight level 100 or as directed by ATC. And that's initial climb clearance is going to be flight level 70, so we're going to set that in our altitude selector window. And that's it for the departure brief. Any questions?
None.
Before start checklist.
Cockpit prep.
Completed.
Completed. Gear pins and covers.
Removed.
Signs.
On auto.
ADRs.
Nav.
Fuel quantity.
Checked. 4400 kilograms.
Takeoff data.
Set.
Baro ref.
QNH 1011 set.
1011 set. Down to the line.
Okay, let's go ahead and request our pushback here. Below the line.
Windows and doors.
Closed.
Closed. Beacon.
On.
Thrust levers.
Idle.
Parking brake.
Set.
Before start checklist complete.
Cabin crew, arm slides, and cross-check.
Departure check completed. Pipe has been inserted. Release parking brakes.
Okay, releasing the parking brakes. And we'll use quick-added pushback there.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
We'll move the engine mode selector to ignition start. And let's go ahead and start engine 2. Starting engine 2.
Check.
And of course, since we're flying in Central Europe, we've got the dulcet tones and calm, reassuring voice of Black Box 711 to keep us company on this trip down to Innsbruck. And Black Box 711, of course, provides the awesome voiceover or voice recordings for the European co-pilot voice for FS2 crew for the FSLabs A320. This, by the way, as the engines start up, this is 29 Palms amazing Nuremberg airport scenery. One of my favorite scenery add-ons in Europe for prepared. Alright, let's go and set parking brake, and we'll start engine 1.
Confirmation for good engine start.
Starting engine 1.
Check.
And engine 2 is already started up, so we'll go ahead and confirm a good engine start since we don't need the ground crew anymore, or the pushback crew anymore. Alright, confirming good engine start. And they're gonna disconnect and move the pushback truck away. Again, this is really, really nice airport scenery from 29 Palms. They've modeled the interiors of the terminal. It's very, very high quality. And again, as I said, this is kind of a, we're simulating a fictional charter flight today between Nuremberg and Innsbruck. In reality, Austrian doesn't fly between Nuremberg and Innsbruck as far as I know. And the reason I wanted to do this is because I wanted the chance to fly out of this awesome scenery package and as well have a very short flight down to Innsbruck where we can really kind of focus more on the challenging approach to runway 08 than on having a longer flight. Okay, it looks like we've had engine 1 started up as well. Let's go ahead and move our engine mode selector to normal. And we'll turn off the APU bleed and turn off the APU master. After start checklist.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Ecam status.
Checked.
Pitch trim.
27% set.
Rudder trim.
0.
After start checklist complete.
Clear left side.
Clear right side. Check.
Okay. Let's go ahead and start taxiing out here to runway 10. We have Mike 2 and Foxtrot. So parking brake off. And let's start taxiing out. Brake check.
Pressure 0.
Flight controls check.
Ready. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Rudder.
With you. Full left. Full right. Neutral.
And it is mid-December in Germany, which doesn't necessarily mean snow on the ground here in Nuremberg, but it does mean it is time, of course, for the famous German Christkindlesmarkets, or Christkindlesmarks, I can never pronounce that right. The Christmas markets in Germany that are famous all over the world. And the city that this airport serves, Nuremberg, of course, has one of the largest and most famous Christmas markets and oldest Christmas markets anywhere in the world. Very popular destination for tourists coming into Germany and to Bavaria and Nuremberg this time of the year. Before takeoff checklist.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Checked. Flight instruments.
Checked.
Checked. Briefing.
Confirmed.
Flap setting.
Config 1 plus F.
Config 1 plus F. V1, VR, V2, flex temp.
V1, VR, and V2 are all 143. Flex temp 65.
V1, 143. VR, 143. V2, 143. Flex temp 65 degrees ATC.
Set.
Ecam memo.
Takeoff, no blue.
Down to the line.
And we'll just wait on this landing traffic before taxiing on and departing here. And that looks like a Ryanair 737 there. Okay, let's go ahead and line up here.
Approach path clear of traffic.
Let's get our lights on. Strobes, takeoff, landing lights, runway turnoffs.
Cabin crew, be seated for takeoff.
Below the line.
Takeoff runway. Tags are off.
10 confirmed.
Confirmed. Cabin crew.
Advised.
TCAS.
TARA.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Pax.
Off.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
Ready.
A firm.
Takeoff.
Check.
Manflex 65 SRS runway auto thrust blue.
Checked.
Okay, off we go.
Set.
Now, one of the things I often need to remind myself is to make sure I'm actually reading off the indications in the FMA there,
100 knots.
as opposed to going off of memory. So, for instance, if runway is not showing, checked.
V1 rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up. Nav.
Checked. Gear up.
So, for instance, if runway is not showing, you don't want to be reading that off. You want to be reading what is actually shown on your FMA, and that's a crime I've been guilty of on far too many occasions to count. Okay, let's go ahead and set climb thrust here.
Checked.
Thrust, climb, climb.
Checked.
And we'll turn on the autopilot.
Packs are on.
Thank you. As we depart out of a Ventry, Nuremberg, Germany. Flap 0.
Speed checked. Flaps 0.
Okay, we're past green dot. After takeoff, climb checklist. After takeoff, climb checklist.
Landing gear.
Up. Up. Retracted. Set and checked.
Flaps.
Retracted.
Packs.
On.
Down to the line.
And we're through 5,000. That's our transition altitude. Set standard.
Standard cross-checked. Passing flight level 060. Now.
Checked. Below the line.
Barrow ref.
And we'll continue our climb here to flight level 210. Standard set.
Standard set. After takeoff, climb checklist complete.
Okay, climb checklist completed. True 10,000.
Confirm seatbelts off.
Confirm.
Confirm clear at nav.
Confirm.
Confirm copy active to secondary.
Confirm. Making our left turn now to Kanu, and once we reach Kanu, we'll be joining the Uniform Lima 603 airway, at which point we'll be off the Kanu 6 mic departure.
$1,000 to go.
Okay, 1,000 to go to cruising flight level 210.
cruising flight level 210 check.
Checked. Okay, we're cruising flight level 210 here, and we're on the Uniform Lima 603 now, heading towards the loop box intersection. About 69 miles, 68 miles to go to our top of descent, and distance to go to Innsbruck is a very short 135 nautical miles, and we should be landing with approximately 2.5 tons of fuel on board, close to. Okay, so let's go ahead and enter our destination weather here. So we'll do the approach briefing and review the MDA, but I already know the MDA is going to be 3,700 feet for the visual circle land procedure to runway 08. And let's go ahead and pull up the weather here real quick. Okay, QNH is going to be 1012. Temperature 3. And winds are calm. So variable at 1 knot. So we're just going to put in 0/0. And we're all set up here for in terms of our destination data. V approach is going to be 133, and we're going to be using VRF +5 138. Or correction, V approach is already taken that into account, so V approach is calculated to be 133 knots. All right, very cool. 55 miles to go to our top of descent. Let's go ahead and do our approach brief here while we're at it. You have control.
I have control.
Are you ready for the approach brief?
Ready.
Okay, the weather at Innsbruck, winds variable at 1 knot. Ceilings and visibility okay. Temperature 03, dew point -5, and QNH is 1012. We're going to be arriving via the Tulsi 3 Alpha RNAV arrival. Let's go ahead and pull up that chart here. Okay, Tulsi 3 Alpha arrival chart. Transition level set by ATC, RNAV 5 or BRNAV approval required, GNSS required. And from Tulsi, we'll be crossing Tulsi at or above 9,500 feet, and then on to the Rattenberg, again above 9,500 feet. And at Rattenberg, we're going to be joining the localizer Romeo, runway 26 approach, with the visual circle to land procedure for runway 08. So let's review this approach plate here. Okay, so localizer Romeo, runway 26, Cat C. Jeppesen plate 11-4, effective 18th of July. Localizer frequency Oscar Echo Victor 111.1, final approach course 255. The final approach fix DME 19.0 from the localizer will be crossed at 9,500 feet. And the MDA will be referring to the circle to land minimums on chart 19-10. It's 3,700 feet. There it is right there, 3,700 feet. So MDA is 3,700 feet. Airport elevation 1,907 feet. And the MSAs within 25 nautical miles of the airport, 11,300 feet, coming in from the northeast sector. And once we cross over the airport, it's going to be 14,500 feet to the southwest sector. And in case we need to go mist, I'm going to call for go-around flaps. We're going to climb to 11,500 feet via the RNAV mist approach track to Rattenberg, and we'll hold there. And the RNMS approach track from WI 700 onward is based on RP 0.3. Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and review the circle to land procedure, the visual circle to land procedure we're going to be using. Again, this can be this follows from the instrument procedure 11-4 that we just reviewed. So we're going to continue down the localizer. Once we get to DME 4.2 from the localizer, we're then going to turn left to 230 degree track at 3,700 feet. Until we can then start turning on basically downwind. So we'll be on a 264 degree track on downwind, 3,700 feet again, until we get a beam right next to this church here, the Axams Church, which we will use as a visual landmark on this visual approach procedure. So once we get a beam at that Axams Church, we're then going to start making our final turn, descending final turn to runway 08. We're going to be landing flaps full. We approach 133. Auto brake setting can be low. And special considerations, of course, we do have terrain, rising high terrain on both sides of the airport that we got to be aware of. But that's it for the approach brief. Any questions?
I'm good.
I have control.
You have control.
Okay, we got 20 nautical miles to go to our top of descent. Let's go ahead and roll our altitude selector here down to 9,500. Which is the altitude we want to be at when we intercept the localizer and start down on the localizer Romeo 26 approach. And we're just northeast of Munich at the moment, here in Bavaria, Germany. You can see the famous stadium down below, where I believe, but correct me if I'm wrong, viewers from Germany, where I believe Bayern Munich, the football team, plays. Might be that stadium right down there. And we can see the stunning, absolutely stunning, majestic Alps there, rising in the distance. And we'll be among them in absolutely no time at all. And descending basically right through the valley into Innsbruck, here in the Alps. Very, very cool. Okay. 3 nautical miles to go to our top of descent. Let's go ahead and initiate our descent here. Okay, manage descent mode initiated, and the airplane is going to start down. And it appears we got a quick weather update here at Innsbruck. Winds are still calm, variable at 2 knots. Ceilings and visibility still okay. Temperature 3, dew point -5, still the same. But QNH is now 1011, so we'll set that here. Just absolutely stunning scenery here as we come up on the Alps. Okay, just past Tulsi, going on to Rattenberg here. And we're going to assume at this point that Innsbruck approach has given us a QNH setting, so let's go ahead and set QNH 1011 here. There we go. QNH 1011 set.
1011 set, passing 13,000. Now.
Checked. Approach checklist.
Briefing.
Confirmed.
Ecom status.
Checked.
Seatbelts.
On.
Barrel ref.
QNH 1011 set.
1011 set. Minimum.
3700 set.
3700 feet set. Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Approach checklist complete.
Okay. Coming up in Rattenberg, like I mentioned, and then we're going to join the Localizer Romeo runway 26 approach with the visual circle to land to runway 08. And we just passed over the German-Austrian border moments ago. So we've crossed over from the German Alps into the Austrian Alps, if such a distinction can necessarily be made. Not sure. But anyway, we're over Austrian territory at the moment, and we're about to turn to the right into this valley towards Innsbruck. Just spectacular. Absolutely amazing. And I am using Orbx's Innsbruck scenery, which, as far as scenery packages go, it might be the creme de la creme of mountain scenery packages for, or mountain airport scenery packages for prepared in Europe. Absolutely fantastic photoreal scenery coverage for these mountains, as you can see, and it only gets better the closer we get to the airport and to Innsbruck itself. Okay, we're through 10,000 here. Let me go ahead and arm the approach. And what I'm going to do at this point is go ahead and activate approach phase as well.
Final approach.
I'm going to set my speed for now to
0 feet.
200. Checked. LOC R.
Checked.
Okay, we just captured the localizer here. Flaps 1.
Speed checked. Flaps 1.
And I'm going to set auto brake to low there. Wow. Just stunning, isn't it? Glide slope star.
Checked.
Okay,
Radio
let's go ahead and reduce speed here to 180. Flaps 2.
Speed checked. Flaps 2.
Okay, at this point I'm going to go ahead and reduce speed now to 160. Roll my altitude selector here down to 3,700. Flaps 3.
Speed checked. Flaps 3.
We're at DME 8.9 right now, or 8.8. At DME 4.2. We're going to start that left turn to track of 230 to make that, to initiate our visual circle land procedure for runway 08 here at Innsbruck. So at this point I'm going to go into an open descent down to 3,700. We have a visual. Again, just absolutely stunning scenery here. Simply magnificent. Let's go into manage speed mode. Flaps full.
2,000.
Flaps full.
Speed checked. Flaps full. Cabin crew, be seated for landing.
Okay, let's go to heading of 230 there. And we'll put the bird on the PFD. And we're going to go straight towards this terrain up ahead. Then we'll turn right to make a downwind and eventually make that final turn back to 08. And this really amazing scenery. You can see a train there in motion. That's really cool. Gear down.
Gear down.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the autopilot here. And we'll fly it in manually.
1,000.
Landing checklist.
Cabin crew.
Advised.
Auto thrust. Bank.
Speed.
Auto brake.
Medium.
Ecam mail.
Or low. Landing no blue.
Landing checklist complete.
So we're going to track at an approximately 264 heading here until we get to the Axams Church, like I mentioned. And that's it right up ahead. That's the Axams Church. You can see the steeple of the church there. And we want to pass just to the left of it. And once we're abeam the Axams Church, we're then going to initiate a 30-degree bank, descending right turn, all the way until we roll out on final. And that's a church right there. So once we pass beam that church, we're going to make that, we're going to initiate that descending 30-degree banked right turn. Okay, let's go ahead and do it.
Sync rate.
Disregard.
500. 400.
There we go. Really nice. 2 red, 2 white PAPI indications. Overshot just a smidgen, but not too bad, all things considered. Visual, continue landing. And I think it is a 3.5-degree glide slope there, as indicated by those PAPIs. So, it might be, we're definitely descending at a steeper angle than your normal 3-degree glide slope that you'd have at other runways.
400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
Spoilers. Reverse green. Decel. knots.
Okay, we'll flip the airplane around here. Okay, so we're going to pause the recording here momentarily, and I'm sure we're all curious to check out a couple of quick replays, tower, external camera views, etc. of that landing, and then we'll come back, taxi into the beautiful terminal up here, and shut down. Okay, welcome back. Let's go ahead and taxi down to Bravo here. And we'll pick a stand here in the terminal, shut down, and call it an evening. After landing checklist.
Flaps.
Retracted.
Spoilers.
Disarmed.
APU.
Start.
Radar.
Off.
Predictive wind shear system.
Off.
After landing checklist complete.
Okay, let's turn left here on Bravo. And we'll taxi into the terminal. Love little Austrian flags that line the taxiway there, along with the blue taxi edge lights. That's pretty cool. Really nice little attention to detail there from Orbx. Taxi light off. Let's see, we'll do gate 6. There we go. Beautifully rendered terminal building here by Orbx for Innsbruck. You can see some people in the galleries or the balcony there watching the airplanes come and go. And here we are, stand 6. Just gonna go ahead and pull in here. Whoops, stopped a little too early there. Let's pull forward just a smidgen more. Okay, let's go ahead and stop here. Turn on the parking brake. Check the APU master is on. It is. APU is on. Let's go ahead and turn off both engines. We'll turn off the beacon and turn off the seat belts. And request deboarding from GSX here. Parking checklist.
APU bleed.
On.
Engines.
Off.
Seatbelts.
Off.
Exterior lights.
Nav logo on.
Fuel pumps.
Off.
Parking brake and chocks.
On and in.
Parking checklist complete.
Okay, parking checklist complete. Here we are. Beautiful Innsbruck, Austria. Passenger deboarding and baggage unloading should begin momentarily. There's that amazing airport scenery there. You can certainly see why Orbx's Innsbruck Airport is a true fan favorite in the P3D user community. Just an absolutely stunning rendition. Okay, here we go. The passenger bus has just pulled up. The cabin doors should open in just a couple of seconds here. There they go. And the passengers should begin disembarking momentarily. Okay, folks, welcome to Innsbruck, Austria. Hope you enjoyed this video. This was another one of these incredibly fun, challenging visual circle to land approaches that I'm really getting a kick out of doing lately. I think I'm going to be trying a few more of these before I conclude my series, at least until the new Microsoft Flight Simulator comes out sometime next year. So I think I might try the river visual approach for runway 19er, of course, at Ronald Reagan Airport in Washington, D.C. next, and perhaps Madeira, time willing, before the year is out. But we'll see. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you like this content, as always, make sure to hit the thumbs up and the subscribe buttons, and I'll look forward to catching you on a future flight. Y'all take care, have a great evening, great rest of your day, and we'll catch you later. Bye-bye.